Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from.
What's going on, gamblers around the world? It's the coach here representing Brothas N Bets, and I'm with my brother, my partner in crime, Mr. Marley Bets. Marley, what's going down?
What's going down, Cappers? Feeling good, man. Feeling good. Having a great day, dog. Great day.
Ooh, Marley sound good with the new mic.
Yeah. See me in here. No, moving up. We're moving up in the world.
We trying to. We got a lot of things in store for you guys as the channel continues to grow, as our fan base continues to grow, and as our pockets continue to grow with these picks. We do got some things lined up, so you guys be ready and be tuned. And we appreciate everybody that's making this possible for us. Like I said, nobody does it like us. Nobody talks about this stuff like us. Nobody looks like us discussing this stuff. So we appreciate it. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what's going on, we appreciate it. But with that being said, just a real quick reminder, tonight we will be shooting our NCAA show for the entire weekend. Today we're going to cover the Maction and the Thursday night football, but for our other picks for the whole weekend, be sure to tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the college, and tomorrow night for the NFL show at 9 p.m. Central Standard. But with that being said, let's kind of look at our overall records for the year. I'm sitting at 40-28. Marley crossed the 70 win mark for the season. He is at 72-59-2. While Flat Top, who is our guy, but he's not here right now, he's at 47-41.
Put everything in the closet, like.
And as far as how I did last week, ladies and gentlemen, I went 7-4. Marley went 5-6, and Flat Top went 4-6 as well. So, overall, we didn't really have a good weekend as a team. Granted, I went 3 games over 500, but to me, that's still not good enough. So we're gonna break down some games and stuff. Marley's talking to his company right now, but
had to work.
What are your takeaways from this weekend? You got anything?
Ooh, man, takeaways from the weekend.
Besides Georgia being them dogs.
Yeah, definitely Georgia being them dogs. Michigan State continues to make us money. Going to keep riding that wave. Is Iowa frauds? And
that offense was terrible, but at the same time, because that messed up one of my parlays. It's crazy. Speaking of Michigan State, I actually end up taking Michigan State instead of Michigan the day of the event, the day Saturday. So I kind of went against myself on that, and that, if we looking back at it, official plays, that was a loss, but that's a win column that I took. But Iowa definitely let me down. 3 turnovers, a total of 8 offensive yards in the first half.
Crazy.
I think they are frauds. They can't. They show that they can't score, and kind of looking at the body of work makes sense. Looking at some of the teams that they played, I think when we saw them play a undefeated Maryland, that kind of stuck into a lot of bettors' head that they were able to put up 51 points as a -3 favorite. But it is what it is, man. But that definitely was tough. But what else you got? What
My last takeaway is ride with the house, U of H. We've been covering them for like the last 3 shows. I think they've hit every time we've put them on the show. So keep my eye on the U of H, ride with the house. They've been keeping us in. Michigan State, continue doing what we're doing with them. Keep following them, and take a second look at Iowa. Those are my 3 biggest takeaways. And like you said, Georgia is who we thought they were.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's pretty much my takeaway. Also, Auburn shows that they can stop those pretty high-flying offenses. So that the defense is definitely stepping it up. I I predicted they were going to step up, and they got a good game this weekend coming into College Station, which, once we get our shit right, Marley, we definitely got to start going on trips.
Going to the game. For sure.
Nah,
We should have been.
know,
We probably should have been at that U of H, SMU. We should at least have some footage of
Yeah. But with you being wrapped up in Little League and myself being wrapped up in college football,
right.
I mean, not college, but high school football has been tough. But our schedule's starting to free up a little bit. So
yep, I'm in the playoffs. I got like three weeks left at the most. I got 3 weeks left. I'm not gonna say at the most. We're going to the Super Bowl as my Little League team.
Yeah, hit that ship. But with that being said, it's our favorite time of the year.
Maction.
NBA. We got NBA. We got the World Series wrapping up. Shout out to the Astros for the big victory 2 nights ago. The NFL, we're in mid-season form of the NFL, and we start Maction. So now we got football almost every day throughout the week. Every day throughout the week. It's our favorite time. Depending on if you're winning, it's our favorite time. If you're winning, if you're losing, then it's a perfect time to hate little colleges. Because I guarantee Marley and myself and all Moneyline, like Jehovah, Gambling Graylow, I guarantee this is the month, November, where we start saying, I hate these small schools.
Hey, the Maction will do it. They will pop your ass in a set. The Mac is crazy, dog. Like, you just never know what the fuck you go get with the Mac.
My problem with the Maction is they play a lot of soft coverage defense.
Yeah, it's points and bunches in the Mac.
They play 10 yards to 12 yards off on the receivers.
And the one-on-one tackling is terrible.
They giving up hitches. They giving up slants. They giving up outrights. They giving up the low dig, the low dig, the high digs. The drags, they just giving all of it up. And it's kind of like, man, you really got to pay attention to who's playing good defensive ball for the Maction. So, definitely want to try to pay attention to those statistics for each team. But Maction, it gets real in the Maction. And with that being said, let's jump right into our first game. We're talking about Eastern Michigan traveling to Toledo, Ohio to take on the Rockets. Eastern Michigan sitting at 5-3, 3-5 against the spread, while the Toledo Rockets are 4-4 in the year, and their against the spread number is matching on that 4-4 as well. This game is going to be played at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time in the Glass Bowl. So that is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Injury reports right now. So again, with these smaller schools, especially in the MAC, they tend not to put out their injury reports. And as of right now, both teams aren't reporting their injuries. So you want to go to Twitter and type in the school injuries in the search menu and try to find as much information as you can with these injuries, because you will never see it. Eastern Michigan is coming off a 54-24 victory against Bowling Green, while Toledo's coming off a 34-15 victory against Western Michigan. I believe I betted on that game 2 weeks ago, and I said I would never bet on a small school on a Saturday again. Too much action going on a Saturday for me to be messing with the MAC, Sunbelt. I don't know. It just depends. If Coastal's playing, if I see a good number with Coastal, then I'll jump on it. But other than that, you won't. No more betting on little games on Saturday. Get to these actual facts real quick. Eastern Michigan, the overs hit 4 out of the last 6 games. They're 7-3 straight up in the last 10 games. 5-14 against the spread in the last 19 games against the Toledo Rockets. 1-13 straight up in the last 14 games against Toledo. The overs hit 10 out of the last 13 games for Eastern Michigan when they are on the road. And they are 0-10 straight up in the last 10 games when playing on the road against Toledo. Toledo, actual factuals, the total's gone under 6 out of the last 6 games. The overs hit 10 out of the last 14 games against Eastern Michigan. They're 10-0, like I said before, playing at home against Eastern Michigan. 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games against the Mid-American Conference opponents. 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games in the month of November. This line actually opened up in favor of the Rockets at -8. Right now, that line's at -9, and the total opened up at 51.5. Right now, you can catch it as a consensus anywhere from 54 to 53 7.5. But Toledo taking on Eastern Michigan. Marley, what is your play?
Here we fucking go with the MAC. All right. So this is my breakdown on this game. You said it earlier with who's going to play defense in the MAC. Well, Toledo's giving up only 18 points a game, and they're just coming off a win against Western Michigan, which is one of the powerhouses or one of the better teams in the MAC. Now, my question is: Are they happy? Are they excited? Are they too excited and not focused on Eastern Michigan coming in here, which is also a pretty damn good team in the MAC? Like you said, they're 5-3, 2-2 in conference. I'm gonna take the 9 points. This is gonna be obviously this is a conference game. Toledo's 2 losses in conference to Ball State and NIU, 2 of the better teams in the conference, was by 7 and 1 by 8. I don't know how hungry Toledo is after that win against Western Michigan. I think 9 points is just a little bit too many. I told you this as well yesterday, Coach, when we talked about the MAC. I'm on overs. I'm not taking any unders in the MAC. There's too much scoring going on. I'm going to take a chance with the over as well, even though Toledo's defense is pretty good. But I just think they may be happy, maybe a little too happy off the Western Michigan win. I think they still probably pull out the victory because they're at home, but I like the 9 points. I just think it's way too many points from a pretty decent Eastern Michigan team with the quarterback Brian. He's thrown 10 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. His QBR is not great, but he's almost thrown for 2,000 yards, and his QBR is at 59.3. But versus the conference, his QBs are jumps to 71. So I'll take my chances with the points here. I think it's just way too many. I think Toledo still probably wins the game, but 9 is just more than a touchdown and a field goal. I'll take that. Put me on the over as well, Coach.
Okay. All right. So Marley likes the +9 with Eastern Michigan and the points. Yeah, I'm going to have to ride with Eastern Michigan as well with the points. Again, this is a good trap game, and I wouldn't be surprised that Eastern Michigan wins this outright. And here's why.
Right.
Toledo still has a true freshman quarterback who started the season off as a backup and now is a starter. He did play great against Western Michigan. He is a run-first type quarterback. If he doesn't see anything, he's taking off, and he is fast. He got some blazers. But with a disciplined team like Eastern Michigan, I do think they will be disciplined enough and do provide a spy. Now, where Western Michigan messed up at is they didn't have a lot of film on this quarterback. So they didn't know what he was really capable of. But he kind of proved like, hey, he's the future of that program. And he does make plays. He makes a lot of plays on his feet. But let's see how he goes up against an experienced and disciplined or a program like Eastern Michigan. So with that, I do like them being at home. They do got some weapons, but I think Eastern Michigan's record kind of speaks for themselves. And I do believe they'll be able to cover the 9. Will not be surprised if they win this game outright. Again, this is a perfect spot for a letdown game from Toledo coming off a big victory. But they are coming off a bye week as well. So let's just kind of, that's my pick on this. I feel confident in Eastern Michigan to at least cover the 9. Guys, be sure to like, subscribe, follow. If this is your first time tuning in, we appreciate you joining us. And we tune in for more Maction because we're going to be here. So with that being said, let's get to our next game that's going on tonight. We have Miami, Ohio taking on Ohio. The total's still the same. Miami, Ohio's 4-4 on the year, 3-5 against the spread, while the Bobcats are just 1-7 on the year, 3-5 against the spread. This line actually opened up as a -7.5 favorite for Miami, Ohio. Right now, a lot of places have it at 7. I think the line just went down, Marley, to 7. When we looked at it earlier, it was at 7.5. And the total for this game Open up at 51.5 right now as a consensus. Everybody pretty much has it at 54 across the board. Injury reports for Miami, Ohio. Running back Johnson is out indefinitely, so he's probably been out for the majority of the year for undisclosed injury news. While Miami, Ohio, they have two offensive linemen that are questionable for tonight's game. One is already out indefinitely with a knee injury. They do have a long snapper that's questionable, so depending on these punts, that is huge as well. And a safety, Elad, he is questionable also for Miami, Ohio. For Ohio. Miami, Ohio is coming off a 24-17 victory. That's a great victory against Ball State, while Ohio is coming off a 34-27 loss to Kent State. Let's get to these actual factuals. Miami, Ohio, 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The unders hit 5 out of the last 6. They're 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games this year, but only 3-11 straight up in the last 14 games against Ohio. They're also 1-4 straight up in the last 5 games when playing on the road. 0-6 straight up again in the last 6 games when playing on the road against Ohio. And the total has gone under 4 out of the last 5 games this season. Actual factuals for Ohio. Excuse me, there's a lot of Ohio words being thrown out today. They're 4-8 against the spread in the last 12 games. The totals hit under 5 out of the last 5 games. They're 1-7 straight up in the last 8 games. 2-10 against the spread in the last 12 games at home, but they do hold a 6-0 straight up record in the last 6 games when playing against Miami, Ohio, as I mentioned before. The total has also gone under 5 out of the last 6 games against a MAC opponent, and they are 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games when playing in the month of November. So they love playing in the month of November. So Ohio team's traditionally been pretty good, but with losing Rourke at the quarterback, or is Rourke still there?
Rourke is still there.
Oh, he's still there. So he's a senior. So man, it seems like he's been there for almost 7 years. But yeah, it's definitely a down year for those guys. But anywho, Miami, Ohio taking on Ohio. Marley, how do you feel about this one?
Look, I feel the same way, kind of how I felt about the Eastern Michigan Toledo game. I think 7 is just too many points here. I like Ohio plus the 7. I like Rourke, the like you said, the senior. True, they're having a down year for Ohio. They're 1-7 overall. But I'm not super impressed with this Miami team. Ohio's coming off 3 straight losses. True, only one of them is by 7, which was to Kent State, which is one of the better teams in the in the conference. But you got a 1-point loss to Buffalo, which is not a bad loss at Buffalo. A 3-point loss to Central Michigan, who we'll talk about a little bit later. They beat Akron, and then they lose to Northwestern, which is a team we expect them to lose to. It's a step up in conference. Miami, Ohio, on the other hand, they're not a bad ball club. I mean, they're 3-1 in conference and 4-4 overall with wins over Central Michigan and Ball State. And a 1-point loss to Eastern Michigan. But I'm going to believe in Rourke here. He actually hasn't played bad. He's played okay. Obviously, he's played better. I just think a touchdown is a lot of points here. Miami, Ohio gives up 22 points a game, but they only score 23. So they're only scoring 1 more point than they're giving up. And Ohio Bobcats average 21 points a game. This will be a low-scoring game. This won't be one of those over games that we talk about. But I think a touchdown is just too many points here. I lean under. I'm not going to make that official, but officially, I do want Ohio plus the 7. If you're going to give me that at home, they're on a 3-game losing streak. I'm sure they're going to come out fired up to not lose 4th at home. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio could win this game outright, but I'm going to take the 7 just to stay safe.
All right. I don't have a play for this one. I'm not going to make it any official plays. If I were to lean, I would probably take that over. If I was to make a lean, just because, again, this is that Maction. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio gets that victory with Rourke being there as a 7th-year senior. So I just, there were definitely some high hopes with this team. I saw them when they played Louisiana week Louisiana Lafayette week 2, if I'm not mistaken. They were pretty competitive in there. They were able to run the ball against these guys. But, yeah, I don't have a play for this one. So I am going to pass, my guy.
Yeah,
and
you know
let's
me. I
get
got volume upon volume upon volume of plays.
so that is our games for today. We will review them, but yeah, I only have one play. Marley has 3 plays for today. So let's get on tomorrow's Maction action. We got Central Michigan taking on Western Michigan, the Broncos, who let me down the other day against a freshman quarterback in with Toledo. So the Chippewas are 4-4 on the year, 3-5 against the spread, while Western Michigan Broncos are 5-3 on the year, 4-3-1 against the spread. The line opened up in favor of Western Michigan minus 10.5. Right now, that line's sitting at minus 10 as a consensus. And the total opened up at 62. Right now, you can catch it at 66. Some spots even have it at 65.5, just depending on what side of the total you're looking to be on. Give me 1 second. We have injuries reports. So the Chippewas definitely have a large list of injuries. Is upgraded to probable against Western Michigan with the knee injury. That's Bracey, the defensive back, and linebacker Brown. He's questionable as well. Wide receiver Law out for the season. Johnson, the defensive line, he's questionable also against Western Michigan. Another offensive lineman. They have quite a few injuries, guys, so you definitely want to do some research and try to see who's going to be participating in tonight's game. While Western Michigan tight end Borski, he is questionable for tonight, and defensive back Gardner, he's questionable as well for tonight's game. The Chippewas are coming off a 39-38 loss against Northern Illinois, which in fact in that game they were up. They were up by double digits at one point and just let it kind of slip away in the second half. While Western Michigan, again, they were up too. They were up 15-12 at halftime against Toledo, but it just turning over the balls, a scoop and score, missed tackles. They end up getting drugged 34-15, all in the second half, really, against Toledo. But with that being said, let's get to the next fashion. I am sorry. Central Michigan, they are 1-5 against the spread in the last 5 games. In the last 6 games, the unders hit 6 out of the last 9 games, 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games against Western Michigan. The unders also hit 6 out of the last 7 games on the road, 4-9 straight up in the last 13 games when playing on the road against Western Michigan. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games this season. The unders also hit 4 out of the last 5 games against a Mid-American Conference opponent. Western Michigan's actual factuals, the unders hit 6 out of the last 9 games. They're 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games, 11-2 straight up in the last 13 games when playing at home, 9-4 straight up in their last 13 games when playing at home against Central Michigan, 1-5-1 against the spread in the last 7 games when playing against a MAC conference opponent. And they are 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing against an opponent in the MAC division from the west side. Western Michigan, Central Michigan. Marley, what you got?
Oh, man, you know how we feel about Western Michigan and my boy Purdy, especially I love him coming off a loss. I'm concerned with the line, though, man. I'm not sure if that's too many points or not, but I was listening to the injuries you reeled off, and I said Purdy, but I meant Ellaby at quarterback. I love them coming off a loss. Last time they lost to Ball, they went and destroyed Kent State 64-31 after losing the ball 45-20. I'm gonna take Western Michigan. Oh my God, I don't like the 10 points. You know what, Coach? I'm gonna take the over. That's gonna be my play. My play will be the over 66.5. I really want to take Western Michigan here, minus the 10, especially coming off the loss. I'm just scared that 10 points may be a little bit too much. They only lost to NIU by 1 point, and they only lost to Miami of Ohio. They lost to them by 11. But
this team is explosive. They pretty explosive. They have a young quarterback, and now he's built up some experience.
And they average 29 points a game. So both teams average 29 points a game, which is damn near 30 points a game. But both teams are giving up damn near 30 points a game. So that's my problem. So I'm just going to stick with the over here. It's high at 66.5. It's extremely high, but I think both of these teams can get well into the 30s. This is the MAC. I've seen it happen before. We can easily be looking at a 41-38 type of game with this conference. So I'm going to go with the over here. I really like Western Michigan, but I'm too scared of, like you said, Central Michigan is explosive. And I just think 10 may be a little bit too much. So I'm going to stay off the side, but I'll take the over 66.5.
Okay. As for myself, I like Central Michigan plus 10. I'm going to take the points. The Western Michigan's defense isn't really as good as I thought it was. I mean, they haven't showed that they can stop a nosebleed. Yes, Stormer. Soon, man, we'll be allowing guests to come on. Whatever you have in mind, just send us a message, and we can kind of go from there.
For sure.
I like this quarterback. I like some of the play. So Central Michigan is kind of, again, they're all in Ohio's and Michigan area, the Big Ten country. They kind of play similar to Big Ten style ball. Now the quarterback, can he pass? That may be an issue, but I know he can. When they have design runs, he is definitely a legit weapon. They do play defense, stingy defense. They do get their tight ends involved. So Western Michigan, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to be feeling after that debacle against Toledo 2 weeks ago. But I like the points here with Central Michigan plus 10. This Maction gets crazy. I think a lot of money is going to come on Western Michigan just off of they're still living off of they beat Pitt. You know, the defense can't stop a nosebleed. That's one thing I legitimately saw. They can't stop the run. They can't stop a nosebleed. So I'm going to take Central Michigan with the points right there. All right, man.
Cool. Cut your boy.
Man.
What's up with it?
Right there by us. What's up, baby?
Right now, Austin. Yeah, you right up the road, big dog.
So let's get on our last game of the Maction slate, which goes down tomorrow. This is actually going to probably be the best game of that weekend. Of the Maction weekday games. We got 6-2 Northern Illinois Huskies, 5-2-1 against the spread, taking on Kent State Golden Flashes, 4-4 in the year, 3-5 against the spread. This line opened up in favor of Kent State minus 3.5. Right now, you can kind of still see, right, I'm sorry, I just proceeded. A lot of places have it -4, 3.5. So depending on what side of the ball you're trying to go with, just choose wisely. There are some favorable numbers out there. The total opened up at 66.5, and right now that line is still the same at 66.5. Injury reports: NIU wide receiver Tucker, he's questionable right now. Lafayette, the safety, he's questionable as well. And both running backs, Wiley and Brown, are both questionable for tomorrow's game against Kent State. And Kent State doesn't have any injuries, so we don't know what's going on. But I will tell you this, NIU's on a 5-game winning streak against Maine, Eastern Michigan, Toledo, Bowling Green, and Central Michigan. They've been playing some of the top dogs of the MAC and been beating them. And again, they came back against Central Michigan last 2 weeks ago to secure that victory, while Kent State's coming off a 7-point victory against the 1-7 Ohio Bobcats. Before then, they lost 64-31 against Western Michigan. It smells like fish. Get to these actual factuals. Northern Illinois is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games. They are 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games this year. 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 games of playing against Kent State. 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games against Kent State. 6-2 against the spread in the last 8 games when playing on the road. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Kent State. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games this season. Kent State 3-6 against the spread in the last 6 out of the last 8 games. 11-5 straight in the last 16 games. The unders also hit 7 out of the last 10 when playing against Northern Illinois. They're 7-0 straight up in the last 7 games when playing at home. 1-4 against the spread when playing at home against Northern Illinois, so like before, and 9-2 straight up in the last 11 games when playing against a Mid-American Conference opponent. NIU Kent State Maction game of the week. Marley, how do you feel about this one?
Appreciate that, Stormer. We trying, man. We trying. I'm gonna take the over again here at 66.5. It's a very high total. But the thing is, both of these teams are damn near averaging 30 points a game. NIU is averaging 29.8. Meanwhile, Kent's averaging 29.1. But the kicker is both of them are giving up over 30 points a game. NIU is giving up 31.5 points. Kent State is giving up 33.5 points. That win you were talking about against Central Michigan, the score of that game was 39-38. Well over 60. Western Michigan score at Kent State, I said that earlier, 64-31. Even the Ohio, who's not known for scoring, 34-27. So these teams are going to put up points. We're going to get points in bunches. I don't know who the hell is going to come out the outcome of this game. I think it'll be high scoring. It's going to come down. This is going to be a true Maction game. It's going to be a lot of fucking scoring. Like Coach said, quick slants are going to go for 70, 80 yards this game. 50-yard quick slant for a touchdown.
Third and 6.
You're going to get a lot of third and 12.
Third and 6. They get fucking conversions on hitch routes, playing 12 yards off type shit, man. I hate it.
I think this is a true Maction type game. I'm going to take the over, stay away from the side. I don't like 3.5. If I could have got like a 6 or something like that, I probably would take NIU. I wouldn't be surprised if NIU actually won this game outright. They are on a 5-game streak and feeling themselves, but this is one of those MAC games that'll make you wake up and be like, fuck, I'm not betting on fucking no college game on no Tuesday night ever again. Ever again. So
I'm telling you, them hitches, man, them hitch routes, slants, BB's playing 10, 12 yards off. I hate it.
So I don't have a side, but I'll take a total. I'll take the over 66.5.
All right, Marley likes the total. I'm gonna take NIU, man. I'm gonna go with the analytics. I'm gonna go with the tradition. I'm gonna go with the history. 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games. I know some of the people are saying two things. People are saying, is Kent State doing, and is this fish low-hanging fruit? It's very fishy. Why is Kent State a favorite over NIU? And NIU has a better body of work, especially in conference. I'm going to take that better body of work. Kent State
coming off the loss, maybe? Coming off the loss. You're at home. Big game.
Wednesday.
No.
Wednesday, big game.
Oh, yeah, that's a Wednesday. You're right.
I'm taking NIU, man. I'm going to go NIU money line. This is my first money line play of the week, and it's my first underdog play for the week. Hopefully they play some press coverage, 2 to 5 yards off. They don't give up the middle. They play disciplined defense. With the MAC, you just need a defensive coordinator that's going to game plan and call the right plays and dial up blitzes at the right moment.
MAC don't care about no defense.
They don't care about.
That's how they got this contract. They would not be on ESPN right now if they were scoring and playing a defensive conference. So if anything, like they trying to score 100 points a game combined.
You are right, and I'm gonna take NIU with the money line pick tomorrow. Marley likes the over, but if you lose, hey man, we tried to tell you that Maction. And I want people.
Like we should definitely have a separate record for Maction, dog. Like
we will.
We should have like a Maction record and an overall record, bro. Because the Maction,
it's gonna get real.
Crazy.
It's about to get real, and it starts tonight. So, and I want the people who are watching pay attention to the cornerbacks. I'm not lying when I say this, bro. They play 10 to 12 yards off. They don't care if it's 3rd and 1, 2nd and 2. They're going to play 10 to 12 yards off, give up the hitches all day long. hitches,
the Mac can
out
do.
route, slants, bro. I'm telling you.
One thing the Mac can do. The Mac can either set you up to have a good weekend, like you could be low after having a bad
Oh my God.
weekend,
And
and that hoe can bounce you back till Friday, Saturday when the action starts, so you ain't got to make another deposit. Or that hoe can take your soul.
we also leaving out the dives. So the Maction is all about the dives. They run a lot of dives. So just get prepared for some of these teams to run 3 dives in a row. Prepare for 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7 dive. So some
Convert though.
coordinators,
That hoe
yeah,
gonna convert.
it's going, yeah, the 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 7 is going to convert. The 3rd and 1s, the 2nd and 2s, they not going to convert on a dive. The fact they're probably going to go back. So let us pray for everybody that's about to witness Maction for the first time. It is what it sounds like. It's pretty crazy. So let us pray. We hope people don't throw their TVs out or punch the flat screen. So that is our Maction slate. Guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Here's our overall record for the year right now. I am the coach. That is Marley Bets. We're both looking pretty good in our records. Definitely could be better. I had an okay weekend. Flat Top, he'll be joining us tonight. Him and Marley did not have a
we had a rough weekend. But we're accountable. We're gonna let you know when it's rough and when it's good.
Right. So let's get on to our Thursday game. We're gonna go to the Maction of the South. We're talking about, are they the Sun Belt or the Conference? No, they are the Sun Belt.
The Sun Belt.
So they call them the Fun Belt for a reason, and because it gets pretty wacky here too. Georgia State Panthers sitting at 4-4, 5-3 against the spread, are taking on the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns 7-1, 3-5 against the spread. Last time I seen the Raging Cajuns play, they played against Appalachian State, and they were home underdogs and easy money, man. Easy money.
Yes, sir.
This line opened up in favor of UL minus 11.5. Right now, it seems like that line has jumped up to 12. The total opened up at 50.5. Right now, that line's at 54 for the year. Injury reports right now, Georgia State wide receiver McCoy, he is questionable for this game. While Louisiana, they definitely have a large list. They do have quite a few guys, a kicker out, a defensive lineman that are out, a couple of defensive players who are out for the year. Harrington, offensive lineman, he's out for the year. Bailey, the running back, one of their studs, he's questionable with the lower body injury for Thursday's game. Hazard, defensive line, he's questionable as well. Tight end, Sabatini, he is questionable as well. Wide receiver Bonnie, he's questionable, and Williams. So they do have a slew of injuries. You do want to check out their injury report on Twitter the day of the game to kind of see what's going on. Georgia State, they are on a 3-game winning streak. Their last outing came in a rivalry game. They won 21-14 against Georgia Southern, while Louisiana Lafayette is coming off a 45-0 victory against Texas State. Get to these actual factuals. Georgia State, they are 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games. The overs hit 7 out of the last 10. They're 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games. 0-5 straight up in the last 5 games when playing against Louisiana Lafayette. 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games on the road. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games this season. 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games when playing against a Sun Belt Conference opponent. Louisiana, they are 3-6 against the spread in the last 9 games. The unders hit 5 out of the last 5 games. They're 7-0 straight up in the last 7 games this year, 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games when playing at home. The unders also hit 6 out of the last 6 games when playing against a Sun Belt Conference opponent. 6-3 against the spread in the last 9 games when played in the month of November. And the total has also gone under 5 out of the last 5 games when they're playing against an East Division opponent. UL Lafayette taking on Georgia State. How you feel about this one, Marley?
I love UL. I like UL, but the injuries, and especially to the linebacker, because this is going to be a crucial game. Georgia State runs the triple option.
Stormer, my bad. I didn't mean it. Stormer, no. Yes. In our description, you will see our links to our YouTube, our Facebook, our Twitter. something else. But yeah, and our Cash App. So just check out the description, and that'll answer all your questions. My bad, Marty. Go ahead.
No, you good. I like this UL team, like I was saying. Undefeated in conference, 7-1. I only lost to App State. I mean, not App State, Coastal, and they destroyed App State. I think we was all over that App State game, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the game we took the money line. They were home dogs.
Louisiana? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I think we was all over that. And I really want to take them here, but those injuries are killing me. And this Georgia State team is coming in hot. I don't think they got enough to actually pull off the victory, the upset. But I think with their offense, they can keep it close. The quarterback, Granger, he's been playing pretty good goddamn football. 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His QBR is awful. He can't throw, but they run the triple option. That's what he do.
Are you sure this is the right Georgia team?
Yeah, because I know
I think Georgia Southern
Georgia
runs.
State confused.
I think it's Georgia Southern that runs the triple option.
I thought it was Georgia State though.
Nah, Georgia State. I don't know what it. So read out the statistics for the quarterback, and I can let you know right there.
All right. He's thrown for less than 1,000 yards, but 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and his QBR is 42.4, which leads me to believe they're not throwing the ball at all. They're running the triple option because his QBR is 42.4, and he hasn't even thrown for over 1,000 yards, and we're like halfway into the season. He should have thrown for at least 1,000 yards.
So here's how I always remember which team is that is. The Georgia team that runs the triple option looks like Alabama with a dark navy blue.
Yeah, they're navy blue and white, but they're both navy blue and white.
Well, the Georgia State is a little royal blue. They got more of a royal blue look. So this isn't the triple option team. That is Georgia Southern, which they're the team that uniforms are identical to Alabama, just the color scheme. But go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Does that change up a lot of things?
That kind of does. Because I was definitely Southern runs the triple option. Yeah, Cowboy said it. So I was getting them confused with Georgia Southern instead of Georgia State. Then in that case, that changes everything. I'm still not gonna take the 12 though. That's just too many points for your boy. I'm a team coming in on a 3-game win streak. Just be the rivalry team. So I guess I'm gonna have no play on this game. Looks like an over game. Yeah, I don't want to give out. I don't want to give out any bad information and take a play that I'm definitely not gonna take. Because I had the teams confused, so I don't want to turn around and then give out false information. So that's not a smart thing to do. So yeah, looks like an over. I'll lean over. Because Lafayette, let me look at it real quick. Lafayette averages 40 points a game, 32 points a game. Georgia gives up 30 points a game. But Lafayette's defense is pretty good, man. Only giving up 19 points a game, but those injuries are making me think they probably could give up a little bit more. I'll take an over. Actually, that's what I will do. I'll make this an overplay. I will stay away from the side because I had the teams confused, but I'm not confused about Louisiana's offense, and those injuries to the defense is making me think that they'll probably give up a little bit more than they're used to giving up. So I'll go with the over 53.5. So we can make that official. But I'm not gonna take a side.
Was that little man?
Yeah, you heard him.
Yeah. So Marley likes the over 53.5. Yeah, I'm right there with you. 12 is a lot. With two teams that are both trending upward, I'm gonna take the official play and take the over as well. UL Lafayette can put up points. Georgia State, they're playing good football. I think they'll be able to put up points as well. I'm going to take the over, and I'm not a totals guy, but Thursday night be janky. just all overall, but we'll see. All right, so those are our plays for the Maction action. Oh, you know what? I knew something was looking funny. Too late now. Kind of go over our picks real quick. So Marley likes Eastern Michigan +9 and the over 53 for the full game. He also likes Ohio +7, Central Michigan and Western Michigan over 66.5, NIU and Kent State over 66.5, and he likes Georgia State versus UL Lafayette over 53.5 as well. As for myself, I like Eastern Michigan +9, Central Michigan +10, NIU Moneyline, and Georgia State versus UL Lafayette over 53.5. So those are our weekday plays. Guys, be sure to tune in tonight for our show when we go over all the games from Friday till Pac-12 at the dark, maybe even that Hawaii late game. But we will be going live here this evening, so please be sure to tune in.
Y'all do any content on DraftKings games? No, what you mean DraftKings games though? Oh, like the fantasy. When you pick the lineup.
I don't fool with DraftKings. I do know on I Am Athlete, I do watch that. They be doing like parlays and stuff. So not really. I figured, and I told people this. Oh shit. The reason why I don't do fantasy shit is because I'm already locked in on football. Period. So
yeah.
that'll be something else added to that I can't afford to be.
I don't have time to cap individual. I don't have time to look up individual. That means I personally cap NBA, college, NFL, and even hockey. So I just don't have the extra time to try to break down fantasy numbers along with capping the games that I cap now. So, and I got a conscious show. Like shit, I definitely don't have time.
Some teams they just some people take that shit serious, Marley.
I'm in some leagues that I actually pay. I'm in 4 fantasy leagues, 2 of them which are cash, and one or two pretty good, and I always win something each year. The other one I always lose. I don't know why I'm still in it because I don't have. Most of the time I fucking forget, bro. Because I want my money right now. I'm worried about that shit. Right. I'm not worried about no money at the end of the season. Even though the DraftKings shit is daily or weekly, it's not year round. But I personally don't have the time for it.
Well, we're in our open mic session before we get on out of here. We just want to make this clear about the Astros. We will not be capping the Astros. We made that conscious decision this morning because we are biased. So if you're looking for some capping for the Astros and Braves, don't ask us because
you can ask me. I'm gonna tell you take the Astros money line.
yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm taking the Astros money, and I might even do run line to be honest, because the Braves bullpen is depleted.
Hey, I know if they win tonight though, you can give us that ship though.
Yeah.
I know that much. You can give us that. I'm going out there. I ain't going out there, but if I did go out there, I'm going out there with my trash can just for all the haters.
I got you. Well, that's a bit, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, follow. We will cut these videos up today so people can kind of get to the points that they want to get to. I am the coach. That's Marley Bets. Marley, you want to send us on our way?
As always, people, y'all know what it is. The word, the motto, the hashtag of it all is let's beat Vegas. We out this motherfucker.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems. We gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we make